is Lady Lila Brown from LB Media Group's Melanated News You Can Use on the scene at the Los Angeles Coliseum, where Mayor Karen Bass just spoke at LA Works' annual Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. Where many may see the King holiday as just another day off, groups from throughout the nation, such as the Divine Nine of the National Panhellenic Council, to volunteer providers such as LA Works, take time to give back to their communities. What better way to honor his life and legacy by recognizing our responsibility to each other, following his courageous example of service. LA Works creates and leads programming to address critical issues in LA by mobilizing targeted volunteer communities from family, corporate, general community members, and older adults, as its mission is to increase volunteer participation in the community, build the capacity of nonprofit organizations to achieve their missions through access to volunteer labor and other resources, and also educate and encourage people to engage in the broader social issues affecting the greater Los Angeles community. The Day of Service will go on with a host of panel discussions along with a community service vendor fair here. So be sure you take time to check out LA Works. They're doing some amazing things. Also be sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube to stay in the loop on the latest news and events affecting our local communities with a focus on Mayor Karen Bass. Also, check out my website, lbmediagroup.com, as we head into this new year, focusing on continuing coverage of reparations, American Indian rights, and the intersection of Hollywood and sports. Again, thank you for following LB Media Group, Melanated News You Can Use. Take care, and until next time, good luck.
Presenting from today, it's also known as Tubangar. This is the ancestral unceded home of the Gabrielino Tongva people. I'd like to acknowledge the Gabrielino Tongva as custodians of these lands and water and pay my respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And also, thank you, Mayor Bass, for your wonderful words. She encourages us all to be a better community. Mayor Karen Bass.
And you know what? There is nothing better, no better way to honor his legacy than to do what you're doing here today. The spirit of volunteering, the spirit of helping other people, to me, is exactly how we should celebrate his birthday. It's important to remember all of the accomplishments that have happened since he passed away several years ago. But it's also important to me on this day to recommit to his vision, to recommit to his dream, and to continue moving our city forward. So on this day, every year, people always say, what would Dr. King do? What would Dr. King think? And as I woke up this morning and asked myself that question, can you imagine if Dr. King was here today in Los Angeles? I think he would be excited about a lot of things, but I think he would also be pretty shocked that in our modern city, our progressive city, thousands of people slept last night outside, something that didn't happen when he was alive, Donna. And I know for a lot of the young people here today, you have grown up thinking that tents on the street is just a normal way of living. But that's just not the case. We didn't always have thousands of people sleeping on the streets. This is a relatively new phenomenon. I know when I was growing up, we didn't even use the term homelessness. That's not a term that began to be used until the 1980s. And so when I think about all of you volunteering today, I think about that is the level of spirit that we need to have so that we can make sure that no Angelino is sleeping outside. And I'm hoping that you will spend your time thinking about that and looking for how we rededicate our volunteerism, how we rededicate our city to make sure that all Angelinos come inside. We know we need to build housing in this city, but one thing that is so important is that we need to build housing not just in certain neighborhoods, but everywhere. And one thing that everyone here can do is to help spread that city, that sentiment, that commitment, that desire, the fact that no Angelino should be outside, there should be housing for every Angelinos all over the city, and I'm hoping that we can get to the point where we can have volunteers come out just like Habitat for Humanity, if people are aware of that, where everybody goes out and actually participates in building. And then when we have housing for people, there are going to be furniture, there are going to be kitchen supplies, and that we start volunteering and contributing those type of supplies versus what we've done historically, which is making sure that the people who are unhoused have food and have blankets, but that doesn't bring them inside. So we want to change that and start bringing folks inside. There's so much to do in our city to improve the quality of life, to make sure that Angelinos feel safe. And I've always believed that the best way to bring about real change is when everybody is involved. Sometimes we expect politicians or we expect other leaders to bring about the change, but I think the best change that really lasts, is change that involves massive numbers of people. So I'm very happy to be here with you today to look out in this crowd, and I want to thank the LA Works team, and especially the executive director. Where is she? Where's Debbie, the executive director? Here she is, in her beautiful daughter. Thank you for the invitation to be here, and thank you for your work over all these years. I appreciate it. One thing that Debbie and I were talking about before, now I've been mayor now for 1 month, 4 weeks, that's all. But one thing I've learned in these 4 weeks that Debbie and I were talking about is that the city of Los Angeles has thousands of vacancies. These are good paid union jobs with benefits and pensions. And if you want to help the city, you can help the city as a volunteer. But those of you that need jobs, or if you know of people that need jobs, you can help the city by coming to work in one of the various departments. People complain, why can't my streets be clean? But I don't think they realize there's 900 vacancies in that one department alone. So continue your volunteerism, continue contributing to Los Angeles, and spread the word. Come work for the city. Thank you, thank you, thank you.